24 hours and 4 minutes of running. This is me finishing my first UTMB, my first 100 miler, a race I've been on mind for years. How would it feel to run so far with that much vertical in one night and day against the strongest trail runners in the world? It was a tough day out, a really tough day out, and I gave it everything. Want to check which is
UTMB or not for you?
first time for the full UTMB.
Ah, for the full UTMB, yeah.
So
you will see the start is crazy.
Yeah. Everyone says, yeah.
Hello. Celui-là.
So why now? Why 100 miles? It's a difficult question to answer. It's something that's always drawn me to the sport initially. I think for a lot of people who get into ultra running, 100 miles is the distance that maybe they're working towards. It's definitely been a distance in mind and a challenge. You know, it's a big challenge. I've taken my time getting there. I wanted to make sure I was really ready for when I got there. Being able to race 100 miles was something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to just go into 100 miles feeling like I was going in to hang on. I know this is my first 100 miler. I know it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying UTMB as a full distance is going to be a walk in the park. It's definitely going to be difficult from the distance standpoint, but I feel confident that I can go into the race and look after myself, manage myself well, but also race out there, which is something I really want to do, not just hanging on, but being a part of the race, trying to, fight for one of those top 10 positions and get a good, strong result out of this and see what I'm made of. So before we get into this, what is UTMB? Ultra Trail de Mont Blanc is a race around Mont Blanc, this incredible mountain. The loop is 170 kilometers with 10,000 meters of vertical, and that's going up and down through the French, Italian and Swiss Alps. But it's not just a race. The event itself brings together thousands of runners, fans, supporters and volunteers from across the world to celebrate the shared love for this sport, the trails, and the atmosphere is like nothing else. And then we'll maybe chuck some bananas in here as well. Obviously fill my bottles up, but then have the water still on the side so I can just chug the water and take away 2 full bottles. Alright, it's race day, so I've spent most of the day just chilling out, getting the last final preparations ready for the race. Just getting dressed now and need to be on that start line within the hour, so I best get ready and get going. So the weather in the race can obviously be a big challenge going to something like UTMB when you're going to be out there for 100 miles. We have had some terrible weather over the summer here since I've been in Chamonix over the summer now in this training block. Lots of rainy days, some opportunities to get cold there, which is something that I wanted to get, running up high in those terrible weather days. It sounds kind of masochistic, and it is, but it's something that I know I needed into this training block, because if I'm in a race where it's going to be raining for majority of the race potentially, I needed to make sure that I was going to be comfortable with that and happy with that. I'm definitely feeling prepared in that aspect, and the weather, I'm kind of ready for anything. So if it wants to hammer it down with rain, I'm ready for it. Oh, is it raining now? Oh, jeez. We've got a lot of questions, a lot of intrigue that I'm thinking about. What is my brain going to feel like? What are my legs going to feel like? My body? It's almost like starting ultra running again, which is really exciting. Having done lots of 100Ks, it's another step up, and it's just another adventure along the way. And I've really enjoyed the training process. I felt really confident with it. So I just can't wait to see how the body performs and what it's going to feel like getting through that finish line after 100 plus miles on the UTMB course, and obviously a lot of climbing, a lot of descending, and hopefully a lot of great memories to take me forward. Heading to the start line, ready to go. Typically it started raining, but yeah, it's all part of it. I'm ready for this. Let's do it. In a bit. Okay.
Go for it.
Good luck.
Alright, cheers. Cheers, man. Good luck.
Go Harry.
I don't know what's going to happen right now. This is all new. I can't wait to see what happens out there.
Is it?
Hey, Mark! Are you feeling okay? Go Harry!
Pacing is a big part of a race like UTMB. You need to start slow, you need to be patient, you need to run your own race and get to call my air around the halfway mark feeling as fresh as you can, at least from a mental side of things, and not being overworked when you get there. That's definitely the mindset I'm going into with the race. Obviously, I want to still be up towards the front of the field. I don't want to be dropping back too far. I want to make sure I'm still in contact with the kind of position area I want to be. But that's something I'm really going through the motions with from a mental standpoint, to make sure that when I'm on that start line, I can just be in my own little bubble, my own little zone. If people want to go off crazy fast and do their thing, that's awesome. They've got more experience than me perhaps at this kind of distance, and maybe a lot stronger runner than me. At least from the starting gun, but I know that if I run my own race and I run a smart race, I can pull through the field and have a good, strong result by the finish line, picking off runners in that second half of the race.
Hey Harry, first table. How are you feeling?
Good. Just taking it easy, making sure I'm eating enough. Feeling pretty good, just been taking it super easy and conscious, here to call my air. And now maybe, still just keep it relaxed for a while, maybe champagne lac, then start to try and build on it if I can, or just maintain.
Harry. Good job, Harry. Come on.
For the first time in the race, I sat down. I sat down on a rock, I closed my eyes. I thought about running along the stretch with Scotty a few weeks back. I loved this section. I wanted to be here. I wanted to race. I got up, I took 2 gels, I kept on going, one foot in front of the other.
Hey Harry, just go past this one over here. I think you're in about 20th, so you're moving up. And everyone is super close together, literally everyone's coming in and
falling
out.
apart.
Are you falling apart?
I can keep riding the way I am when I'm catching people, so
Okay.
just got to keep doing that.
Keep pushing, Harry. Alright, struggling.
Okay, all the way to Chamonix now, in Valacin, so last checkpoint. Got to just make it count, so let's go. Getting into Valacin, I was starting to accept defeat. I knew that I'd finished the race, but I told Louise that at this point I'd be happy with just finishing. She managed to say the exact words I needed to hear. I didn't come to give up. I didn't come to train hard on these sections of the course to then not give it everything on race day. Looking up at Tete Vance, I could see runners making their way up the steep trail, and everyone looked so close. With each runner I passed, I told myself just one more. The legs and the heart took over, the mind finally switched off, and it finally felt like myself. I've had race highs before, but I felt like I was floating towards the finish line. It somehow clawed my way from 25th to 15th. There was always more to give. I gave it absolutely everything at the end then. Just found another way to hurt when I was already at rock bottom. I think I just wanted it so bad to get into that top 20 after working so hard for it in the race. I knew that top 10 wasn't there, but it was just unreal when I started catching people. I just kept feeding off that energy and just kept putting myself deeper and deeper into a hole, but eventually the legs, I couldn't feel them at all. So.
And great running.
I don't know what happened there between Ballast and Maria.
Hell of a first 100.
But just going up Col de Montets, I just, because you can see everyone zigzagging, I was like, let's just do it. So I started running it and then I got the balls on, just
Moved up so much.
started ticking them off.
Yeah. And what did you catch between left leg?
So,
5?
and then on the Flégère, setting the course on the downhill. But yeah, between Col de Montets and Flégère, it must have been 7 or something. I don't know.
Awesome. Congrats, Harry.
Cheers, girls. Can I guys been on the trails here?
Yeah, I was running this morning, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Like selfie for Max.
I think I'm good because I just missed 24 hours. And that was like my mind as well. I was like,
You saved my ass, man. You saved my fucking.
I always kind of throw myself in really deep races where there's always, the best in the world racing is something I always focus on. I want to get the best of myself out of an athlete, and I know that comes in situations where I'm being pushed to my limits. I'm being pushed outside my comfort zone, and for me that means, maybe just getting into that top 5, getting into that top 10, perhaps getting on a podium. Doesn't mean I'm winning races all the time, but it means I'm up there in these really tough races where it's not an easy position to get to. That's my goal. As an athlete, I want to lose at times. Obviously it'd be great to win, but yeah, I want to be put in a position where it's difficult and it's not easy, and I can perform at my best and really get the most out of myself out of an athlete, rather than just going for a race where maybe a win would be a bit easier. I want to be making sure I'm really trying to grow and develop myself within the time of the sport that I'm in it.